So students, today I, Ranjini Rao, and I have Nikita here with me.
Hello.
And we are both going to have a small discussion on the concept. Okay? And any doubt that you have, you can always reach the CTF for any clarifications further if you want.
So ma'am, tell our viewers which topic are we taking today?
I think generally the students have a problem in trading on equity. This is a concept from the financial management. So I think today we're going to just give you the conceptual part of trading on equity. Okay? So I'm going to make an attempt, and I only hope that it's going to be clear to you. Now let's take a look at what is trading on equity. I said what is trading on equity, right? So that means I'm going to trade this part of equity for the benefit of the shareholders themselves. So now trading on equity, in 10th class, if you remember, you have always studied about these in the science section, the load, the effort, and the fulcrum. Now the same phenomena is also going to act in the financial management too. So that is why it is also called financial leverage. I repeat, it's also called financial leverage. So let us see what this trading on equity is. Now look at this load here. In the science or in our daily lives, the load is here and we keep a bar under that and we put an effort in order to move this huge boulder or a huge stone, right? Now when we attempt on this, we observe that this big stone does not move at all. Why it does not move? Because there is sand here and this bar has no support. So now I'm going to take a small support, and that is, look at this second diagram. The load is here and the bar is here, and I have taken a small stone for a support. Now when I do this and put the effort here, we find the load moving because the effort is there, and this is the stone and here is the fulcrum. Now the same phenomena is going to happen in finance too.
Sorry, Ranjini ma'am, I would like to ask one question.
Sure.
Which children also get this kind of confusion is there in the mind of the children also.
Yeah.
Diagrammatically it is very clear.
Correct.
But this diagram, children cannot explain the entire concept using this diagram in their exams. So how should they explain in business studies paper?
Alright, I'll answer that to you. Now this first let us understand this concept and then convert it into the language of business. Alright, so here when we put the effort, it is going to move. Now the question is how and why. It is going to move because we had placed a small stone here. Now this stone, now I'm going to talk to you in terms of financial language or the business language. Now this is the big stone, I'm going to call it as equity shareholders, and the small stone is none but the debt. Now I'm going to derive the trading on equity for you along with this diagram. I am using debt having a fixed cost. What does debt have? A fixed cost. And when we say debt, what we mean is it can be debentures, it can be loan or any kind of udhar or debt, right? So debt along with the fixed cost. What is the fixed cost that you pay on debt? You pay interest for the debt. So the debt having a fixed cost is used along with equity here. This debt having a fixed cost is used along with equity in order to earn a higher EPS. What is EPS? That is earning per share. So this is basically trading on equity, which is also called financial leverage. Now this is the lever that is acting in favor. Now you should know that this financial leverage is known by many names. Other names of it is also trading on equity and capital gearing. Have you heard of that? Capital gearing also it's called. It's also called financial leverage. And how is it calculated? the financial leverage is calculated by debt by equity or debt by E plus D, that is equity plus debt. Now, you should know basically few things. What is trading on equity? We just said that it is debt having a fixed cost is used along with equity in order to earn a higher EPS. Now, how it happens, when it happens is another question. I'll just answer you when it happens, because how it's going to happen, I'm going to ask somebody else to take that up. So when does it happen? Now, when does it happen? First of all, the trading on equity can be favorable and unfavorable. It can be favorable and unfavorable. So when is it favorable and when is it unfavorable? Now that is the question which I said, when does it happen? Now it happens basically when the ROI, that is return on investment, is greater than interest paid on the debt. Now I already said we are going to pay the debt, interest on debt. So when the ROI is greater than interest on debt, you are bound to have a favorable trading on equity. There is one more important condition, and that is the interest on debt must be tax exempted. Now this is what is the best advantage, the reason why we say that debt is always cheaper than equity. Alright, children, so I am repeating this for you. Now financial leverage is all nothing but trading on equity. Why do we say financial leverage? We call it financial leverage because there is debt and equity. So debt is used along with equity, ma'am, right? And then I said the two important conditions are ROI must be greater than interest paid on debt. This is a primary condition. Otherwise, debt, you also know, and everyone knows, is a big risk in business. If you are not earning more than what you have to pay, then it is a big problem, right? And therefore, the TOE, that is trading on equity, can be favorable and unfavorable too. Am I clear, please? If you have any problem, you are most welcome to clarify. Ma'am, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am, and I am sure that this is going to be very helpful for the students, because when you get such kind of questions in your exams, children, first and the most important thing is your concept should be clarified. Once you know the concept, you can understand the question. Even if it is not directly asked, you can always relate your conceptual knowledge with the question, and then you will be very smartly able to handle the question. Thank you, Ranjini ma'am. Thank you so much for this.
So much. There is just one point I would like to add to what ma'am just said, and that is when you get a numerical problem in the exam, please, sometimes, like I think a couple of years back also we had a problem there in the paper asking a numerical question on trading on equity. Now what is important, children? If the information is not given, please start assuming things and mention that in the problem, that the rate of equity share per unit is assumed as 10 rupees or 100 rupees, whatever you wish to assume. So please be very careful in answering. If you understand the concept, you can always think on those lines and always solve the problem. Thank you very much.